Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Music Scrap, the Musical Scrapper. Beautiful day here on the east coast of Canada. Although there was a system kind of went through, didn't even create any rain, but there was enough cloud cover and enough coming in that it's wreaking havoc on my sinuses. But anyway, that is improving. So 5 1/4. So I'm creating a journal using Coptic binding, hoping that I can do it without everyone seeing only the top of my head. We shall see. I'm hoping I can be zoomed in enough that, but with my eyesight, that's not a guarantee. We shall see what happens. Hey, Susan. All right. So I have already colored off recording some embroidery floss with some green acrylic paint, watered down and waxed it using some Scentsy wax from my Scentsy burner. And that's so that, well, it makes a nice pretty binding, but it also will make it easier for me to see when sewing and easier for you guys to see. While I'm working. And that is if I can get it so that you guys can see something besides the top of my head. Because with my eyesight, you know. Normally I just use my narrow stuff and then use glue stick in the middle, but because of the shine on this, I'm too lazy to sand it down and glue won't stick to it, so I'm using my wider tape for the whole to make sure the paper sticks completely. To the cover. Hold on. I have to find a better. My brushes keep getting in the way of my rotating tool caddy. You have to make sure you have to really burnish this down because that helps make that tape permanent on your surface. And so I need my narrow stuff here. Narrower stuff. This is 5/8 inch Express It tape. Not as good as score tape, but it will do the trick. In this case, new series Salvation. Who stars in it? You love my hair. Yeah, but you don't, my balding head. My balding. Alright, so then on the other side, I do the narrow stuff around the edge. And this side I won't have to use the wider tape because it's a matte finish. Yeah, I know. And it was in my grandmother's, my mom's mother had thinning hair, so that's where the balding comes from, the maternal side. So I thought I'd show you all the steps. I don't know if I'll get all the pages bound on stream, but I don't think anyone's planning on streaming after my 5 o'clock time. So if not, I'll stay on. If someone else wants to come on, then I won't stay on. And by the way, although this is dry glue, it does cure. So it takes about 24 hours for score tape and double-sided tapes to become permanent. Really, Susan? It's interesting. But what about her brothers? What about your uncles and your great uncles? Were they balding? That's the thing. And what about your brothers? Are they balding? So I have hours? Yeah, okay. That is unless Ange wants to jump on when she gets home from work with her new pencils. She got her Prismas yesterday. I'm so happy for Ange that she was able to get that good deal on the Prismacolors. Of course, she'll never turn back and use other pencil crayons now, or color pencils, excuse me. My Canadian is showing through when I talk about colored pencils. Because to us, they are pencil crayons. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, so... All right. Well, that is what I heard over the years, that the balding tendency comes from the maternal genes. So, I don't know. For heaven's sakes. Just a minute. A little spot of water that I didn't quite get. Luckily, I had my piece of towel here on my desk. So what stayed on my desk actually got soaked up by that towel, which helps. No, I don't need the perfect trimmer to make my corners good. I can do that without the little corner thingy that just makes another tool that people think they need. So notice that I pushed my edges over. Okay. Now I do my long edges first. Although I take all of the tape off the book side. Urgh! Come on. I burnished it a little too well. Okay, I need it. That was just a small little bag I put on there on Monday, and it's full. So I need to get a better bag on there. Excuse me, I always hang a garbage bag on the drawer of my desk for my paper pieces and etc. And I need to change it out. There we go. All right. Yeah, more than once a month, Eileen. If I'm doing lots of work, it gets filled with baby wipes and whatever pretty quickly. I'm worried about Presto. I think I'm going to have to take her to the vet. I'm going to give her the weekend. But she's getting like Paws was when she was going downhill. Very clingy. Like last night, I had to go to the washroom and I had to go to bed. And every time I tried to pick her up off my shoulder, she climbed up on my shoulder at like 10 o'clock. Well, just after Z's stream. And she wouldn't let me put her down. And every time even if I tried to stand up still carrying her, she would like scramble and like hold on tight to my chair and to my shoulder. My shoulder's totally all scratched to smithereens from her. So I am just like a present. There's little corners here that need to get folded in so that when you fold your ends up, you have a nice corner. And I go along the edge first. And then, alrighty. See, nice corners without the use of a fancy tool. So, I don't see... Poor Paws got really jaundiced. Presto is still eating. She's still drinking. So I just think she's feeling miserable. She's still jumping up and down off the bed. So on this, I'm still going to do it my normal way because this is a nice matte finish and the glue stick will do its job. And this is pretty paper too, this side, but I need green. Dang it, that went down almost. Hi, Hi, CB. Hey, Allie. I hope you had a good birthday the other day, Allie. I didn't notice that it was your birthday, though, until it was like bedtime. So I missed sending you a happy birthday video. Need to add you to my calendar. I'm not sure why I didn't have you on my calendar. You've been here more than a year. Very strange. Indeed. Alright. Burnish. Well, Rebecca, that's not very nice thing to say. My goodness. I know you meant to put an O on the end of that greeting, but gosh. See, I'm not the only one who does good typos. I'm not. I tell you. All right, so this is the way it goes. And I guess it doesn't really matter. But I just want to make sure. Ooh. And I line up on 3 of the sides, and if I've measured right, it should make it nice and equal or close enough on the other side, which it does. It's a little more here, but that's okay because, okay, I'll make this the back so that this is the inside. It's a little closer to the edge, which is fine for the inside binding side. What? I laid what down, Eileen? Hi, CB. I'm making a journal. Right now I'm doing the covers. I'm going to attempt to show the Coptic binding. Attempt. This was a wire-bound journal that had perforated pages that were very loose perforations, I guess. So the minute the paper started getting wet, I started losing, pages started falling out of the journal, let's put it that way. So I just decided I would Coptic bind it. It was Art Journal Techniques book. I was using it to practice techniques. Oh, Eileen, you must be you must be really lagged. Hit pause and play, because that happened a long time ago. You must be really lagged. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Gotcha, Eileen. No problem. I also don't bother taking the time to pick up my scissors and cut the end of my tape. The whole reason why I prefer this tape to the red line tape is the fact that you don't have to have scissors to cut the silly thing. That it rips. Just put my finger down, rip it. It's going to get covered up, so no one's going to see if the rip is a little crooked. Right? And I've got holding the roll down to an art. Goes through my hand except for my thumb on my right hand. Oh yeah. CB was my roomie in Baltimore the first year. And she's a live wire, let me tell you. She's the most live wire lady of her generous age that I've ever known. And looks young, just like my mom. My mom still looked 50 when she was 70 as well. Mom still doesn't look 85. She looks closer to 85 than she did 5 years ago, but all right. CB. Although they should, CB, considering you don't like to pay your bar tabs. They should be getting your credit card number as you go in the door, just in case. CB. Just saying, it's the truth. Isn't this going to be pretty, journal? How pretty is that? Beautiful. And this is actually paper still from when I first started scrapbooking 7 years ago. Costco had the really nice accordion plastic 12 by 12 thing filled with what, like 200 papers. Some of them are pretty but some of them are really nice, so I'm still using them. Welcome back, Jillian. Oh, wow, Monique, that's great. Keep an eye on her, because what made Mom go downhill was a UTI infection that didn't get caught in time. Because there aren't symptoms when people are elderly like there are when you're young. There's very often no pain or burning. And that's also, I'm all but positive that that's the reason also for her short-term memory loss, because we're thinking the UTI had gone on for, she was diagnosed with the UTI about a year before the whole memory issue started. And I'm betting that they didn't give her enough antibiotics to get rid of it. And that she may have actually had it for a year. And it was like unfortunately, it was within a month that her memory went from the normal memory loss of us aging people to her severe loss that she has now. And the poor thing, she's so lonely. I mean, she forgets that when my sister goes in to visit, and she's like, why hasn't anyone come? I haven't seen anyone for days. She calls my sister. The other night she made the nurses call because Jenna and I had gone down with the kids to visit her on July 1st. And she called in a panic. Made the nurses call. Mom was in a panic, and we took the kids to go see the fireworks. And her cousin called asking where we were, and we were like, oh, we just took the kids up to the fireworks. And she's like, well, one of your mother's nurses just called. Your mom made her call frantic that she was worried you didn't make her home. She's absolutely obsessed that my sister's going to have a car accident and hurt herself, and especially when her grandkids are in the car with her. My sister is a very good driver, but she does like to drive faster than necessary, and she does like to get closer to cars that are lollygagging than she really needs to. But anyway, and I think Mom remembers that because that's not short term enough. Like, so, and Mom's had a few roommates, which it's hard for Mom. Mom still doesn't remember this current roommate's name. She doesn't remember her name. But that doesn't bother Bonnie. Bonnie understands. But Bonnie's the perfect roommate for Mom. Mom doesn't like to sit and gab about random stuff. To just everybody. I mean, she likes to sit and talk with us, and chat. And she'll chat with someone, but she doesn't, how some people just have to talk because they feel like they have to talk? Mom hates that. And some of her previous roommates were that kind of person. They kept wanting to talk to Mom, and I don't know, Mom just likes to sit and watch TV and read her newspaper. She's not really a social person. The nurses can't get her to go to anything at the home. Except for the day that they took the therapy dogs. Someone came with 2 therapy dogs to the home. And the minute Mom saw the dogs go down the hall to their common room, she got up with her walker and took off like a shot to go and spent the whole time with the dogs, patting the dogs and talking to the dogs without the nurses even saying anything. And usually they can't get her to go and do anything. I wish the people would come on more regular basis with the dogs. No, CB, I was born with 10% vision, so no, I never drove. So, anyway, my sister's taken the dog in to see Mom a couple times into the home. She's taken Nova in, and they've taken, actually, Pete, Stacia's greyhound, they've taken him in a couple times, and he's wonderful because he's very calm. He's not skitterish at all. And he doesn't bark a lot, so he's not going to get all excited and he thinks he's a cat. Stacia said he sleeps as many hours in a day as their cat does. Yeah, I only have 10% vision, so I wasn't allowed to drive. Although I'm pretty sure I could drive better than some of the people on the road. My issue is that, I wouldn't be able to see and react to something that would happen, quickly on the highway, on the road. You know what I mean? If someone jumped out in front of me, or if the car in front of me, put on the brakes too quickly. That kind of thing is what I wouldn't be able to react to that. So this is going to be the front. So this side is going to be the round side. All right, so there is the covers covered. All right, so now I need to make my template for my holes. So I need a piece of cardstock. Cut. All right, so 2 inches. I'm gonna cut it 4 inches by 8 inches. Which means cut off 1/2 inch. And I need my scoreboard, which is right here. Well, we didn't totally expect Mum to, although we did expect her to want to go to the musical event, when someone came to perform music, because she loved going with my sister to all the concerts and stuff. But she does prefer, classical music and choir music than, although no, she does enjoy the old time songs, that they come and perform. But so we were kind of shocked. Okay, so let's see what am I gonna do for the binding? Let me find a pen. Okay, pencil. Got a pencil. So I'm just lining it up along the ruler edge there of my scoreboard, which, yes, I use sideways because of my eyesight, so that I can see the measurements better. You don't see well, you have to. Okay, so I don't think. All right, so 1/2 inch from each end. Yeah, I should be doing this with pen. My pen. Here's my pen. Found it. 1/2 inch from the end. Which makes an inch. All right, and then an inch. Every inch, I guess. Every inch makes good sense. every inch. Then what I'm going to do is going to take my Tim Holtz. It's not his first one that's in the red handle that ejects and whatever. That's also a Tim Holtz one. This was his newer version of his paper piercer, and I love it. So I do this on my scoreboard because the scoreboard has little grooves, so it allows me to at least mark my spot here. Get my first original hole poked, because I like to poke it from the other side. True, Allie. Very well could be true. Alright, so now I'm going to fold it. I'm going to leave this out because I need to score my pages. So now I'm making the holes in my guide here larger. Okay, so that's ready to go. Leave my piercer here, and I've got all my papers up here. And they need to get scored in half. I'll have to see how many I'm going to be able to put in a... Whoops. So 5.5 is halfway. Yeah, well, you know, in some ways, I would love to have assisted living, in that, in some ways I'm ready for it, in that I would have someone once a week. In the lowest level of assisted living, I would have someone once a week who would come and do my major house cleaning without paying extra, right? Because it's part of your payment. Also, they have an option for a meal plan, so I wouldn't have to cook for myself, and I would eat much better. I know I would, because a lot of days I order in because I'm just too lazy to make food. When I went and got groceries yesterday, I did try and get a lot of food that was going to be easy for me to make food and make it myself. Instead of ordering in, I'm trying to get smarter about not just what I eat, but making it easy, first of all. But, you know, I'm not ready to give up space. The assisted living apartments are very small. They're 1 bedroom. I don't know if I would have space for... I would have space for some of my art stuff, but... I would have to be very choosy, and I'm not ready to do that yet. I've already gone through and got a lot of stuff, which reminds me I have to get myself organized. I'm just going to have to make sure I'm going to have to plan for next weekend, I guess. Next weekend, do a yard sale. Make myself some money. Yeah, Allie. Yeah, we got it, and it's wonderful. And Mom uses it all the time because she can't use a calendar. Because a calendar is no good to her because she doesn't remember what day it is. Like, even if she looks at the paper and finds out the day of the week on the paper, she didn't need it so much for the clock. They have a clock in their room that they can use. But that a clock doesn't help tell her it's the day of the week. She needed to know what day of the week it was. Because my sister would leave her a note saying, this week on Wednesday I work, you know. She has a journal. You know, and Janet would say, I work late shifts so I can't come in on Wednesday this week or whatever. So she wouldn't worry. But she never knew when it was Wednesday. And, you know, she'd look at the newspaper find out what day it is. By the time she sits the newspaper down, her memory's so bad, her short-term memory's so bad, by the time she sits the newspaper down, she doesn't remember what day of the week it is. So, but she probably doesn't look at it, Allie, because it doesn't help her. A calendar does not tell you the date unless you can at least remember the day of the week, or you can remember the date. Like, you have to be able to remember that it's July 13th in order to look at a calendar and see that it's Wednesday. Or you have to be able to, you know, or Thursday, whatever. I'm just using an example. Or you have to remember that it's Thursday to look at a calendar and see that it's July 13th. You know what I mean? So, like, Mom can't even remember what month it is. She still doesn't remember that she's lived a lot of times that she's in the old age home. She still thinks she's in the hospital. I don't know when they're going to let me out of here, she says. I've been in here for at least a couple of weeks, she goes. It's like, no, you've been there 2 years, Mom. But you don't say that to her because that doesn't matter. Yeah, Jillian, we got Mom this. I actually might get one myself. Just because it hangs on the wall like a picture frame, and it's huge letters. Like, even if I put it on the wall here behind my desk, I would be able to read it even from my desk chair. I have it on my computer, but I have to put my nose right up to my computer screen in order to see it, right? So, I had got up, made myself a nice breakfast this morning. I did sleep in because, like I said, Presto didn't even let me go to bed till 4. Start to get ready for bed until 4:30. I'm actually going to keep this one out for now because I like it better than my Martha Stewart one. I need to get myself another Ranger bone folder because I really like them so much better than my Martha Stewart ones. The point is pointy enough, but not too pointy to damage paper. So this is nice. I would say maybe 100 pound, 90 pound probably. It's probably 90 pound mixed media paper. So it's nice paper. But it's not as thick as my watercolor paper that I made, that I only put 2 in. So I might be able to put 3 in a signature. Let's see. I know Janet trimmed hers all off nice. So I think I can put 3 in and trim those. Or should I just do 2? If I do 2, I don't care. I don't really have to bother trimming. But I probably should do 3. And trim down that 3rd one. Let's see. I'm going to test and see if I can trim with my Fiskars trimmer. Oh, no! I knew that was going to happen. One of these days. Just my scrubby brushes. These are my good watercolor brushes. I've got a wonderful collection of artist quality watercolor brushes now. Oh dear. Okay. Alright, and if this isn't easy enough to do, I'm just going to put 2 in a signature. This blade's bed is thicker than mine. Okay, so that'll work. Because I do not use, just so you know, just so that I know I can do it, I'm going to do 3 in a grouping, but I need to finish. Oh, I finished. Oh, what am I doing? I need to finish folding them. Duh. So 3s. Okay, hold on. I did not yet. I need to do them as a group 2. There. Oh, hi, Sophia. Oh, no. Yay. Well, welcome, Sophia. I'm just getting stuff prepped to try and show Coptic binding. So each signature is going to have 3 sheets in it. Oh, nice. Yeah, CB, she does. She goes through blades like a mad woman, she does. Buys them in bulk. I'll tell you, I would lose a couple appendages if I tried to do what Janet does with an X-Acto knife. She says it takes practice. Yeah, but my practicing would remove appendages, so yeah. No, if it cannot be done with my trimmer, I don't do it. Just saying. Just not safe to put me together with an X-Acto knife. I have one if I have to do, you know, little easy jobs or something, but stuff like she does, yeah, no, it's not going to happen. I rarely use it, but I have it in case. Yeah. Heck, I'm barely safe with a paper trimmer. I did a very small trim off the edge that had the perforations on it because I just didn't want them there. So I trimmed like 1/16 of an inch off that edge just to make it smooth. So the pages may not be all exactly the same height. Well, they should be because I made it like a little... I took the same amount off each one, but it looks like I missed getting through that one. Yeah, part of it's still there. There we go. Okay. Are there 3 left? There's 2 left, so I won't do those. I'm good. This is a good number of pages in a journal. It's going to be a nice thick journal. Alright, so then, now I guess, what I am going to do is trim off my edges just to make it a little neater. Painterly, I cannot remember your name. I know you've told me it several times, so I'm lining it up at 5.5 because that's what the outside page is, and I'm just trimming, and a couple of swipes and it trims off the... That's close enough. Oh, not really quite. I didn't go through that last one. I think I need to turn it over. That'll help, I think. I don't know if I had that last one straight or not. There we go. I just pretend I don't see imperfections. I am a perfectionist, but, you know, when you're legally blind, you can pretend you don't see things, but actually it's interesting because I do notice a lot of things that other people don't notice. Because I'm so used to being observant, so I don't trip over things or miss something, that I see things other people don't necessarily observe because they don't look closely at things. I need to turn it over to get the other side, I think. There we go. It's pretty thick, so there we go. Jennifer. Oh, yeah, okay. Jennifer Paint. Jennifer. Paint is Jennifer. We have cracked minis, Jennifer. Okay. There we go. Bye, Allie. So even the prep work takes a while to do it, making a journal, but you know, I like doing this kind of stuff as well as a painting. It's still being creative. Okay. Okay, Sophia. Oh, hold on. There we go. Gotta make sure it's straight everywhere. So Janet was going to Joplin today for doctor's appointment with Robert, so fingers crossed that all goes well. Sure, she'll have some goodies to show when she gets back, because she said she was going to go to Joanne's while she was there. Oh, tweet that link as well, please, Eileen. Tweet that link, because of course if you have good blades, I'm sure it makes a difference when you're using an X-Acto knife or a whatever you want to call it, trimmer, because it may not be an X-Acto brand, you know what I mean? fix a little spot here on this first one that I trimmed. There we go. This is the trimmer. I have two trimmers. I have this Fiskars one, and I have my Stampin' Up! One. My Stampin' Up! One only cuts good paper. It does not cut chipboard. This one I keep for chipboard and other uses that need a kind of a deeper blade or whatever you want to call it. Sorry, I got a spot there that didn't quite cut through. Okay. Alright, next job. Get my trimmer out of the way. Lock the blade. And get it in there. Alright. Sorry, need a drink of water. Excuse me for a second. Oh, need a potato chip. What the heck? Oh, my glass. My mug. Luckily, there was nothing in it. Let me pick it up. I hope it didn't break because it's my favorite mug. Alright. Okay. Next job is to punch my holes. So, I take my guide, thanks Eileen, I heard that tweet come in. So these pages are a little less than 8 inches because I trimmed off a section, so I'm just going to line that up in the middle. Now I'm only going to use this one time for the pages because I'll show you what I'm going to do. Alright. So now, where are my clips? Oh yeah, in here. So I take 2 clips. Once I get it lined up, make sure my pages are all lined up. Get my guide lined up and put a clip up here and a clip here. That's not the one I want. Hold on, I want the black one. So that one's too small. Hey, Judy. Hi, Jane. I'm working on a journal. Sorry, when I put that clip on, I pushed it down too far. Okay, so one on either side, and then you can safely push without your papers moving on you. Yeah, you can use a cradle or you can do it my way. I always get my holes close enough. Works for me. You can use a magazine or an old phone book. Works perfect for as a cradle, but I just hold it like this and it works fine. But make sure you punch your signatures as a group so that your signatures holes line up. Yes, button is money. Excuse the crunching, I'm eating potato chips. And now to make sure, because this is the size of the cover, to make sure, I'm going to take one of these from that first unit and use it now as my guide. Because my guide ended up being not quite the same size as my pages, because I forgot I cut my pages down. So now you always use the same page for each set of signatures so that my holes will line up. Yeah, exactly. Well, methinks you doth protest too much, Judy. If you need to clarify that the minute you walk in the room that you're behaving, yeah. Now I got a potato chip on that page. Or crumb, I should say. All right. All right. Well, Eileen, I know that some people, Sea Lemon in her video, what she does, Sea Lemon in her video takes her pages like this, all right, and puts all of her signatures on top of each other, and takes her sample, whatever, puts it on top. Of course, she lines these all up. Takes a ruler and then draws all her lines so that, but then you have to punch from the outside into the middle. And I find it harder to make sure you get right on the fold when you're punching from the outside to the inside. It's much easier to make sure you're getting right in the fold if you're punching from the inside to the outside. So there's no way to like measure it, doing it the way, like to do that the way Sea Lemon does it. So that's why I do it this way. No, but the book cradle doesn't line it up so that you can, the book cradle doesn't line it up so that you can get your holes in the exact same spot. From one signature to the next signature. book cradle will make sure, does the same thing as what my clips do. It makes sure your signature stays, the pages within the signature stay lined up. Oh, sorry, that's not going straight. There we go. So I took it and I did it that way. Trying to make sure that I keep the same edges lined up with the same edges in case my holes are off a little bit. That's fairly easy to tell when you're, sorry, just clamping my pages. Barb Owen has a book cradle, so she doesn't have to do it my way. I don't think she may have done it my way before, but I've seen her do it with her book cradle. I'm not sure why this hole has ended up so close to the edge. May have to fix that on some. I just noticed it on this one. Okay, so I took it like this and put it like that. All right. Hey, Grammy. Working on a journal, hoping to show. This is the prep work. Uh-oh. Don't want to lose that to the floor. Good, it landed on a footstool. Oh, she was doing a tiny book. Where's the fur baby? I think she's still on the bed sleeping. Sleeping away on the bed. Sorry, can't see this. Can't feel that last hole for some reason. There we go. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, that's the one that the page comes from that I've got in my hands. Okay. Come on. Yes, I am, Grammy. I'm going to attempt to show the Coptic binding. But first, I'm showing all the prep work. It goes before the binding process. I've covered my book covers, folded the pages. Now I'm punching the holes. Okay, hold on. I need to fix my space here. I've got a bunch of leftover paper that needs to go in my garbage bag because I'm not keeping scraps. I've learned my lesson. I don't use scraps. So, no point in keeping them. Okay. All right, I only have 2 more left to punch. I know you're probably all saying, yay, thank goodness. This is so repetitive, so if you're watching the recording, you know, I hope by now, if you're bored watching the same thing over and over, you've already fast forwarded or moved on to another video. But this is real time binding. And I don't edit my Ustream videos because it's time that it would take time that I could spend doing something else other than spending 6 or 7 hours editing a 3-hour video. I'd rather to spend that 6 or 7 hours doing more art or listening to my audiobook or both or watching TV. But I will be doing lots of editing because I have plans for my Christmas presents and they have to get started very soon. And it's going to involve video editing. So you guys may be seeing some video editing streams coming up. Good, Susan. I'm glad you are liking it. That is why I love being a renter. I don't have to mow the lawn or weed the lawn or shovel snow in the winter. I love being a renter. People do that for me without me paying extra. Well, it's included in my rent, so. And my rent's very reasonable, so I do not mind at all. The building wars. Yes, the building wars between Jen and I. Fun times, yes. Alright, so this goes here. That goes in that first one. Alright. So now I've got my pages. All right, now what I have to do is get the holes punched in my book covers. So first I'm going to take the front cover and I'm going to take my original template that had the marks on it for the holes. And on the inside, all right, I'm going to make sure I mark this. I should have marked it in the first place, but top. And in 1/2 inch. And I think I'll use my white gel pen so it won't show up as much as black. If it's going to show up enough, let's see. Oh, no it won't. I'll use my black gel pen because the pen mark should basically disappear in the hole. And it is the inside of the book, so it shouldn't show up too much. Thanks. It's just a piece of scrapbook paper. Pretty cool, isn't it? I put it back in my, I was like, where did my paper piercer go? I was like, I put it back in my tool spinner. Oh, are they? Good, Rebecca. Well, I won't see, I'm buying it from the lady here who takes her scrapbook store to our crops, so I won't see her till like mid-September, but which is fine with me. I can wait that long till she gets her shipment in. She's a small store, so I'm pretty sure she's not likely on the top of their... I want to make sure this is actually 1/2 inch. Looks like I may not have put these in far enough. Hold on. Not quite. I don't want the cover to rip, so I am going to mark these back a little bit. All right, I have to use my T-square ruler here. I need to remark these. I knew I should have measured it in the first place. But that's what you get. Sorry, I need to flip this around this way. There we go. Glad I checked. Uh-oh. You guys looking at the top of my head again. See, that's what I worry about when I'm binding, that you're only going to see the top of my head. I'm going to have to start a new recording for the actual... This is a little thicker than the one I did with my... There, that. Still goes through easy, though. Just have to wiggle it. I only showed the front of my head. Gosh, Eileen. It wasn't a typo. She didn't have a typo. Just make sure you don't have your finger behind the spot where you're poking through. Gee, thanks, Eileen. Something to be proud of. I'm a good hole maker. And now I'm going to go on the other side and poke them back down through this way because it'll make it easier for my needle to get through. Oh. Okay. And now you take your front cover and your back cover and you sit them on top of each other like they're going to be part of your book, and you clip them together. So they don't move on you. Make sure they're lined up at your binding edge. And now we're going to poke the holes through to the back. Oh, but Hi, Mary. Haha, CB. One more hole. Okay. Ooh. Oh, and I had a bigger one right here that would have been a lot easier to use. Uh-oh. Munching on another potato chip. Okay. So I'm going to stop this recording because I'm ready to start with the binding. And I'm going to do the binding part on a separate recording. So I'll be right back. Thank you for watching part 1.